nothing like the rush of hunting people down and killing them. I mean, my heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting, and I'm still getting the headshots. It's like boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot.
Hey crazy people, how you doing? It's the Bismarck here. As recently as 2020, there have been a very interesting genre of manga and anime that I've been getting into and have enjoyed reading so far. Giggling in my chair like a schoolgirl while reading. What genre is this exactly? Well, that would be the end of the world genre. And pretty much seeming as we may be in our own end of the world anime in these next few coming months, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about my favorite manga and anime to come out of this category. Before that though, if you like the stuff I make and want more, then please leave a like, subscribe, and feel free to join my Discord in the description of the video. I promise nothing bad is happening there at this current time. As well as I also have a Twitter that I pretty much never fucking use, so also follow that. Anyway, shameless plugins over with, onto the video. So before I get onto the topic of the video title, I want to go more into what some of this genre is about as a whole. The main premise of these stories is that it either takes place during some sort of catastrophe or after it has already happened, and we see how the people in said world react to the new desolate land that they find themselves in. More than likely they will face some sort of problem, if not many problems, such as food shortages, not being able to get from point A to point B, running out of medicine, trying to capture a mentally handicapped dog that just caught the whiff of a toddler from 6 miles away. There are a few examples of this type of story. You got Gakagarashi, which I made an old review for if you want to check that out, Touring After the Apocalypse, which I haven't really even read yet, but heard it was relevant to the video since Lazy Jesse made a video on it, so please check out his channel and give that video a watch sometime. He makes some good shit, by the way. But the one I want to talk about today is my personal favorite, Girls Last Tour. Girls Last Tour's first manga debut was in Kuragi Bunch's magazine series on the 21st of February, and is written by Tsukamizu, and the anime adaptation aired from October to December of 2017. Girls Last Tour is about these two characters, Chito and Yuri. Two young and curious individuals who are on their quest to make it to the top of their city. Said city is separated by different levels that go higher and higher than the last, and they hope that once they get to the top of the city that they will find some sort of solution to their problems, or any sort of sign of civilization that's left in the world. Now, it isn't exactly explained how the world got into this situation in the first place. In fact, the manga or anime don't really go much into it at all, so you sort of just have to assume what's happened by the little hints that they give you. Anyways, here are our two characters. Chito is a much more mature and cautious of the two, learning from the books that she has kept over the years, and is the designated operator of their vehicle, Senpai Kettenkrad, while Yuri, this one right here, is the muscle of the two. She is mostly food oriented, is mostly illiterate, and protects both of them with her trusty rifle. Basically, she's just me after 6 8-hour shifts on a week. Also, just want to go ahead and say this, in my opinion, she could have a pretty good chance of rivaling this guy in a successful mukbang channel. I am 100% putting my money on Yuri. Yeah, a pretty simple premise. Well, now that you've pretty much seen what the anime is about, why would I say that this is my favorite of the bunch? What makes this one so special compared to the others I've described earlier? Well, to get into the main point of why I believe that, we're gonna get into some of the little smaller details about why I really like this manga and anime. So sit back and relax for every average anime reviewer ever talking about things you already fucking know about. In terms of anime adaptations for already existing manga or light novels, this one was pretty good. I think that the adaptation didn't really capture backgrounds and environments as well as a manga did, but it still does enough to depict the unique world that Girls Last Tour takes place in. Yes, while the anime did have less clutter, it also added this magical thing called color that made almost every frame look like desktop background material. Still on the topic of art style, the character design was also super cute and super funny. I love how sometimes they moe blob out when they enjoy their hot tub, or when Chito violates Yuri's face with her book. These two are one of the cutest couples I have ever seen in an anime. Massive heads, badass looking clothes, and overall cute characters. But there is one character that catch my eye more than the rest. This thing. Yes, that goofy little creature that scared the ever-living shit out of Gura on that one stream.
Watson, this is creepy. What is this?
And equally scared the shit out of me while watching. This hellspawn is named Nuko. Nuko is a little creature that lives off of eating bullets and fuel, and decides to just start following them around for some reason. And you see, the interesting thing about Nuko is that he doesn't really talk normally like, you know, normal people, but communicates to Chito and Yuri by frequencies on their handheld radio. And I really honestly gotta say that Nuko sounds way creepier than what I imagined after going from manga to anime. So, glad that thought is out of my head now. And honestly, this is a very interesting way for a creature to talk to other people, which just adds to the creativity of the story. So gold star for me, for, you know, whatever the hell that's supposed to be worth. One more thing that I really liked about the anime was the soundtrack, which does a very good job at making the moments that feel bad or boring feel uplifting and fun. For example, when our two protagonists are sitting under a building and decide to use the water drops to make music, gathering pots and bottles and even their helmets to put under the drops in a certain way so that it creates a beautiful song. That fades out from the location and is used for the end credit song. Another song I really liked is the song Owari no Yuta, which plays on their radio for a majority of a certain episode until they reach the surface. A very beautiful and calming song that I could imagine playing over a loudspeaker after some sort of apocalypse. It just fits too well in my opinion. So yeah, the anime is pretty good, but what are my thoughts on the manga that the show comes from? The manga, what I had to say about it. Well, to start off with the obvious, the art style is extremely eye-catching, and I personally love it. While the weird and sometimes inconsistent proportions and the artist's inability to draw a straight line may look a bit weird at first, it works perfectly with the often drab and dirty, broken down environment that the girls drive through and explore, with the backgrounds that tend to look abandoned and forgotten. The messy and squiggly lines used for the outlines of objects and buildings fit pretty well. On another topic, the lack of music. Now look, I know what you're saying. Okay, that's obvious, it's words on fucking paper, and didn't really have a soundtrack before the anime came out to go along with it. What the fuck are you talking about, Kona? What the fuck? Well, I think that more than any other genre or manga, that for this kind of story in particular, it's much more impactful in terms of how you see and feel while reading it. With the kind of story it is, and the very dark aspect of living in some dying world in and of itself, it's sometimes kind of hard to really get a feel for how you're supposed to feel at any part of the story. As some people may know, music within media is a very powerful tool when it comes to messing with your emotions. In fact, there is a very good video made about ReZero that goes into more detail about that, so I will leave a link for that in the description if you want to check it out. But with there being no soundtrack to listen to while reading through the story, you can interpret it as being more or less depressing or more or less uplifting at any point in the story as you choose. Because honestly, I thought of the soundtrack as being way more gloomier and unsettling before the anime came out, only for the adaptation to give me a feeling of adventure and hopefulness when I watched it. So it kinda messed with me at the beginning until I eventually got used to it. So other than the environment looking like the aftermath of a fucking English football game and the lack of music making it way more interesting, another thing I really enjoyed about the manga was its very methodical pacing towards the end. Now I mentioned the near end of this manga now since I wouldn't have been able to when it comes to the anime, because much like a certain other anime I mentioned earlier, the anime adaptation only covers like half the manga, specifically for this one up to chapter 29, so sucks to suck I fucking guess. Anime only stay losing. So since this is a review of the anime and not specifically a should you watch video, there will be spoilers from here on out, so if you don't like that sort of thing, then just click off the video now. I'm sure Giga about this time is making some wonderful fucking content.
The same thing, or?
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
I'd fuck my brother, yeah.
No.
No.
But for those who don't mind spoilers or have already seen the anime or read the manga, stick with me here. Throughout the story of Girls Last Tour, our two characters venture through what should be a horrible, depressing world, and yet manage to find ways and small victories to make light of the situation that they're in. Finding hot water to have a warm bath, making their own clothes out of scavenged materials, and helping out the scientist to work on her airplane. The story is much like Gakugarashi in the way that it portrays staying positive even in the worst of situations, being the embodiment that no matter what is happening, there is always some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how small. And if you're asking who made that quote, it was me. I made that. However, as with all things that come and go, there is an end to everything eventually. It will come whenever it wants, no matter how much you prepare for it. something will go wrong. Nearing the last few chapters of the manga, it becomes very apparent that the end is coming. They're running out of food, their only form of travel breaks down beyond repair, and Chito, despite treasuring her books as if they were her own fucking children, is forced to burn them just so that her and Yuri have a source of fuel to keep themselves warm. I like to wonder how much people, if put into the same situation that they're in, would just give up at this time. But yet, they don't give up. Despite everything going wrong, they still have that goal of reaching the top of the city and finding out what's there. And they sorta do. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing but a flat, snowy platform that spans for possible miles in a strange broken formation near the stairwell. And even after all that, after finding out that their reason for this entire journey was to get up here only to find nothing, they don't really seem to mind. Instead of getting angry over it, they have a snowball fight, lay down for a meal, and then they go to sleep. And whatever happens to them after that is up to your imagination. I don't know, maybe fucking Krampus finds them and saves them. But that's just my headcanon though. If there was any sort of show that taught me not to think about things too hard and to just do what I need to do, not worrying about the little details, or to push myself to complete a goal no matter how small, all the while keeping myself happy while doing it, this show in particular would definitely be one of them. So if you're interested in a great post-apocalyptic anime that's a little bit more uplifting than this, then give it a read and watch the anime. Also, I feel like I should say this, the dub is actually pretty fucking good, so don't be a baby back bitch. Please watch this one as well. Well, that was my review for Girls Last Tour, and this is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the review, then please leave a like, subscribe, and comment on what you think I should make a video for next. Next video will probably be ReZero or this nasty ass dog anime that I don't even want to bother knowing the name to. So stay tuned in for that video next month. This has been KonaKona, and I will see you next time. Bye. Also, I didn't really know where to put this in the video, so I guess I'll just put it near the end. I just want to say that within this last year, my channel has gotten so much more attention than, last year. And honestly, I'd never thought I'd see a day where I have more subs than videos, which just to put into context, before this channel, I had one before that was kind of just like a weird little gaming channel. So the fact that there's actually so much people watching the shit I make is really fucking good. And I'm so happy that there's actually people out there that are watching the things that I put work into. I like video editing, I like doing these little analysis things, and it overall just kind of makes me happy that you guys are watching them and everything. This is honestly pretty much the only hobby I have, so seeing people actually get something out of it really makes me happy. I wouldn't really say I'm an emotional person, so I'm not really sure how to portray it in any sort of way. All I can say is thank you so much guys for watching what I make, and as long as I'm able to, would like to keep continuing making these videos. My life situation is kinda iffy, so I'm not sure how long I can keep it up, but for as long as I can, I will continue making these videos. Anyways, yeah, this has been KonaKona, and I will see you guys later, but I'm pretty sure I already told you that earlier.
すごい威力。こんな武器があるのか。すごすぎ。笑い事じゃねえよ。